I want to run my favorite part of this home run of a keynote that Kenney did on Saturday. And this is his talk about the party's need, the Conservative Party's need for diversity. It's not the politically correct diversity jibber-jabber that you're used to listening to that makes your eyes glaze over. That's not what this is. This isn't a deal. And this has to do with what folks in various parts of the world coming to Canada, taking a risk, an entrepreneurial risk to come to Canada, and what their expectations are from governments, provincial and federal. Nobody wraps that up better than Jason Kenney.
You have a phenomenal, diverse, talented, principled team of candidates ready to be the next government of Ontario. And yours is a party that reflects the diversity of today's Ontario. Let me pause there to say how important this is, because this is something on which I worked for so many years in our national party. But it is essential that if you are to regain the trust of Ontarians and get this province back on track, that it must be a party that reflects not just the diversity, but the values of new Canadians who made the entrepreneurial choice to become Canadians, to become Ontarians. There are no Canadians more naturally, intuitively conservative in their values and their aspirations and the way they live their lives than those who have come here from around the world to pursue economic freedom and opportunity, so many of them having left behind corrupt, statist, and dysfunctional economies, and have come to Canada seeking the freedom of a country where hard work can translate into success, an opportunity society. Families who come here who understand that the basic institution of society is not an overbearing bureaucratic state, but the family itself and resilient individuals. Those are the values of new Canadians. Those are conservative values.
Few things are more effective and persuasive when you're doing a speech than actually saying stuff you believe in. Stuff that's married to deeply held convictions and delivered with real passion. Not just kind of recited because someone gave you some flashcards and you learned the flashcards and you're trying to memorize them. It's not what he does. Naturally, he told the party on Saturday, the Progressive Conservatives in Ontario, that they've got to be united. No matter all the issues that they've had in the last little while. And they've had lots of them. They sometimes look like a patient that really needs rehab now. Lots of issues. The need to unite. Jason Kenney has a story.
Let me tell you a brief story about our experience in Alberta. 20 months ago, I decided to leave my seat in Parliament after nearly 2 decades because we were hopelessly divided. We were in a situation where we might have given a second term back to a destructive socialist government that drove Alberta into its deepest and longest recession since the Great Depression of the 1930s. A government that is quadrupling Alberta's debt, that has caused tens of billions of dollars of investment to flee, that has moved Alberta from the job creation engine of Canada into the highest unemployment outside of the East Coast. A government that has done fundamental damage to opportunity and prosperity in my home province. And I wasn't prepared to sit back and watch the consequences of a second NDP term as they changed the structure of our economy and changed Alberta's political culture. And so we challenged 2 political parties to put the province ahead of any partisan interest and to put aside their individual differences and to unite. Our campaign was called Unite Alberta. We had to go through, in fact, 4 campaigns to do it last year. But I am pleased to report to you that the result is that the United Conservative Party of Alberta is now the most popular political party in Canada.
And that is the leader of that party and the premier in waiting in Alberta. And waiting in our green room is Alex Pearson of Global News in Toronto, AM 640, with much more on what transpired over the weekend and why it's important to know in the rest of the country. This is Charles Adler tonight.